Why did I start the Rhinebeck Aerodrome? I just thought old airplanes ought to have a fine old home. Why are people interested in old airplanes with such marvelous, sophisticated airplanes flying around today? With the old airplanes, it can be one man by himself controlling the whole situation. I think it's human nature to want to do the whole thing themselves, the individualist.
Boy, that thing's going to need some grease. My name's Dave Fox. I've been flying here for 25 years at old Rhinebeck and enjoying every minute of it. I started flying in 1934 in Texas, and I've got about 20,000 hours now. And I guess these are more fun than anything else I've flown. There's not only a certain amount of ego to it, but there's a euphoria that comes over you. If you fly the thing and fly it well, you know that you've done it. And nobody can tell you. There's no electricity, so there's obviously no radio for somebody in the ground to tell you you're doing wrong or what you're supposed to do next. And of course, it was always a thrill to get up and look down. There's nothing quite like it on a beautiful day. You break out and see the ground for the first time. It's a thrill. I never got over that.
The crowds jam the bleachers every summer weekend here at the old Rhinebeck Aerodrome, 100 miles up the Hudson River from New York City. What they've come to see is an old-fashioned air show put on by some of the best stunt pilots in the world. The planes they fly are the tuned-up relics of World War I. Open cockpit planes with names like the Sopwith Camel, Spad, Jenny, the Fokker DR-1 triplane. These are the planes that made legends of the famous aces, Immelman, Rickenbacker, and the Red Baron himself, von Richthofen. Here at Rhinebeck, the legends are gently kidded. Like the aces they are spoofing, these pilots too fly by the seats of their pants. But their dogfights are more bark than bite, and their bombs more smoke than shrapnel. Circus, you don't need a program to tell the bad guys from the good guys. The damsel in distress may be tied to a barrel instead of a railroad track, but nobody doubts for a minute that she'll survive. The heroes are all pure of heart in this nostalgic look back, and we know before it's all over, the villain will get it in the end.
The space program, I think it's a marvelous thing. My father delivered mail in a horse and buggy, and he lived to see Sputnik. A wonderful time to be alive.
The use of space is going to be necessary to continue the progress of man. It's going to lead the way to long-term space population. There are actually going to be generations within the next 100 years who were born and raised in space. To keep it going, they're going to have to make the space shuttle do things for people, because people is the key to anything we ever have done as a nation or will do as a nation.
In 1948, the experts said it would be another 200 years before we'd make it to the moon. But in 1969, this Saturn V rocket was the initial stage of a delivery system which carried 2 Americans to its surface and brought them safely home. Today, this rocket is practically obsolete. The space shuttle has been born, and with it the promise of new and even greater discovery. It's kind of hard to imagine, but someday even the space shuttle will become obsolete as we continue to step into the future and out of the past. So what does all this mean, these dreams of the past turning into modern-day reality? Well, I'm convinced that it means that we can accomplish just about anything we set our minds to. We can continue to solve the most difficult problems that we face here on Earth and learn new ways to improve the quality of our lives and the lives of our children. But first of all, we have to decide that that's what we want to do. And then we have to learn how to work together toward those goals. I know that it's true that you have to climb to the top of the mountain to see the other side. Well, we wanted wings, we got them. We're beginning to use those wings to fly beyond familiar peaks to the far side of those mountains. We can't not do it. We must continue our explorations. We must open our eyes and our minds and our hearts to accept being the first among humans to enter the far reaches of space.